Yo, what's up? This your boy Derek Branch here of SportsView360.com, covering the New Orleans Saints. And today I want to talk about the recent news concerning the New Orleans Saints as new head coach Kellen Moore is starting to build out his coaching staff. You know, as many of you already know, he was announced as the Saints' new head coach, and now that due to the fact that he was the last hire of the current cycle, NFL coaching cycle, he has to quickly assemble his coaching staff because the NFL, the combine is coming up, the draft, free agency, you got to determine which players that you want to keep on the roster, who you want to restructure, things of that matter. And I knew that was going to happen. He was going to, assemble his coaching staff. It wasn't going to be an issue. But today, it was announced. A few hires were announced today, and first one I'm going to talk about is a familiar face, and that's Joel Thomas is heading back to New Orleans to become the Saints running back coach once again. I believe he was coming over from the same role. He served in the same role with the New York Giants. He was their running backs coach. He was let go once they decided to part ways with Pete Carmichael last season, and he was a part of that cut down that occurred. But Joel Thomas is back with the team after spending a year with the New York Giants. He was the Saints running backs coach from 2015 to 2023. But he left the organization in 2024 to coach the Giants running backs coach. So he'll be back with the team this upcoming season. I know Joel Thomas. A lot of the players like Joel Thomas, especially Alvin Kamara, the rest of the running backs, they may pair with Kamara, usually were fans of Joel Thomas as well. So to me, I think that's a good hire, a good pickup. A guy that's familiar with the team, um, a guy that's really good at what he does, and that's coach and develop running backs. So you got Joel Thomas heading back to the Saints. The other hire that came about is Saints hiring TJ Paganetti off of the Eagles coaching staff. It was announced earlier today that the Saints were making that move, courtesy of Nick Underhill. He was the first to drop the news that they were going to hire TJ Panetti. They don't really know what his title is going to be, but it's going to be on the offensive side. But with the Philadelphia Eagles, he was the run game coordinator and assistant offensive line coach for the defending Super Bowl champions, the now defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. According to this article, Pagnetti has been with the Eagles since 2017 and has also served in roles such as quality control coach, assistant running backs coach, tight ends coach, and he also had another stint with the team as an offensive analyst in 2013 2014, that was bookend by two runs in Oregon staff. The Saints also have interviewed Eagles quarterbacks coach Doug Nussmeier and assistant coach running backs coach Jamel Singleton for the offensive coordinator position, and Philly's defensive back coach Christian Parker is in the mix for the team's defensive coordinator role. So here's the thing, man. From based on the comments I've seen from a lot of people that um, cover the Eagles, that follow the Eagles, religiously. They think this is a really good hire. They feel as though this is a guy that they wish shouldn't have left the building. Because I believe that now since they had lost Kellen Moore to the Saints, Pagnetti was probably going to be the next guy to run that offense. And this could be like out of all the moves on the staff that's going to be on the staff right now for the Saints, this could be that secret weapon. This guy right here. This guy could be a rising star as a head coach because he's been around for a long time, and he's only 35 years old. You know, I mean, he's been with the Eagles since 2017. Also had a stint with Oregon with in years 2013 2014. So throughout his entire career as in coaching, he has been around off. Excuse me. He has been around offenses. He's been around high-powered offenses. So I think it's good to have a mind like this on the coaching staff to work along with Kellen Moore. You know, a guy like this that has a chance. I mean, it just depending on how fast they can turn around, or even look formidable next season. This is a guy that could potentially gain some steam, and down the road maybe become a top head coaching candidate, similar to how things took off with Ben Johnson. You know, but from what I'm hearing is that this is a name that TJ Pagnetti is a name that the Eagles should have not let him get away. But we'll see how it all play out once everything gets established and excuse me, and they determine what type of offense they're going to run with this football team, because it's clearly evident, we all know this, that the Saints don't have the Eagles personnel. But that doesn't mean this offense is not going to. That doesn't mean that the offense isn't going to be explosive in its own way. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to install this guy onto the coach staff. But it's pretty much going to be an offensive side of the ball. So we'll see. All right. So the other news that came about today, and a lot of people were looking out for this one, is that according to Josina Anderson, NFL Insider, she had it first, is that the Saints are currently working to finalize a deal with Eagles quarterback coach Doug Nussmeier to become the team's next offensive coordinator, according to our sources. So, if you're old enough to remember, back in the day, Doug Nussmeier was a quarterback for the New Orleans Saints a long time ago, during the I believe it was the Jim Moore era, during the latter years of the Jim Moore era in New Orleans. And now he's gotten involved in coaching. I heard about his name before in the coaching cycles. He was a coach. I believe he was in Dallas. He was in Dallas when Kellen Moore was in Dallas. Now he went to Philadelphia with Kellen Moore, and now he is following Kellen Moore to New Orleans. And also, Doug Nussmeier is the father of Gary Nussmeier of the LSU Tigers, who is expected to be, a highly sought after quarterback. Next season, he announced that he was coming back for the upcoming 2025 season. So I think all these hires are good right now. These are all good hires. I think it's good to have a guy like Joel Thomas back in the building. I know people got this thing where they would prefer to part ways from the Peyton culture and all that, but hiring a guy like Joel Thomas ain't gonna hurt, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna hurt. He's not here to become the head coach. He's not here to be an offensive coordinator. He's not here to be a defense coordinator. He's the running back coach. This is not me knocking the importance of his position, but I'm just telling it like it is. You know, but that's a good hire, man. Good hire right there. So far, I mean, a lot of hires that have been made so far has pretty much addressed the offensive side. You for the tight ends coach, you went out there and hired Jim Haslett, who is also Jim Haslett's son, who also has close ties to the organization. Jim Haslett's son, Chase Haslett, will be the tight ends coach. Keith Williams, it will be, I believe, is returning to be the team's wide receivers coach. You got Gary Nussmeier, Doug Nussmeier will be the offensive coordinator. This Tim, is TJ Paganetti. He's going to be joining the coaching staff. I think he's going to be the quarterback's coach, but we'll see how it all play out. And then you got now he's not the quarterback's coach. You got a former NFL backup that's going to be the new quarterback coach. So they hired Scott Tolzien to be the new Saints quarterbacks coach. It won't be TJ Pagnetti. He'll be Pagnetti will be serving in a different role, but Chosen is familiar with Kellen Moore as well, and he will become the team's quarterbacks coach. Scott Tolzien, played has NFL experience. Worked with Kellen Moore in Dallas. Worked with Kellen Moore with the Chargers, and worked with Kellen Moore. Um, you know, I believe I don't think he worked with Kellen Moore in Philadelphia, but he was with Kellen Moore in Dallas and was with Kellen Moore with the Chargers. Scott Tolzien played in the league, joined the NFL in 2011, undrafted quarterback out of Wisconsin, played with the Chargers, 49ers, Packers, and Colts. So had a short, career, nice QB coach. So all the hires that have been made so far, outside of Joel Thomas and bringing back Keith Williams, a lot of these guys are coaches that Kellen Moore already know about. Kellen Moore is familiar with working with, and that's not surprising. The hires that he's made is not surprising because all pretty much all coaches do this once they assemble their coaching staff at a new location when they're taking a head coaching job. They're going to surround themselves with people that they're familiar working with. They're not going to work with assistants that they're not familiar with or may have a difference in philosophy with. And that's kind of the difference between you now see the difference with hiring between the hiring of Dennis Allen and the hiring of Kellen Moore. They pretty much set this Dennis Allen up for failure though. If we're being honest, because you you hired Dennis Allen, but you gave him Sean Payton's coaches when that coaching staff is accustomed to working with a style of Sean Payton, or accustomed to working with the way accustomed to seeing how Sean Payton do things and not Dennis Allen. And that's what pretty much derailed Dennis Allen's tenure. Because then after that, he had to pretty much fire everybody the second year and then get his own coaches in. And that still didn't work out. You know what I mean? But I like the fact that the Saints are letting giving Kellen Moore full range on who to bring in for this coaching staff. So we just gotta wait and see how it's all gonna play out. The next thing to drop is gonna be free agency ain't too far from now, but the next thing to drop is free agency and to see which players are gonna be, retained, re-signed, and have their contracts restructured for the upcoming season. Which players are gonna get left go, the draft, who are they gonna be interested in adding to the team, all that other stuff. But right now, so far the offensive side, the coaching staff is being built out. Now it's going to be the defensive side. The defensive side is going to be the next shooter drop for the team. So expectation is that Brandon Staley is going to be the Saints' new defensive coordinator. So we'll see how that's all going to play out and who he's going to hire as the defensive lines coach and linebackers coach and all this other stuff, because that's the next side of the ball they got to address, the defensive side. So we'll see. All right, so I'll laugh you off right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. What are your thoughts on the Saints most recent hires of their offensive staff, And also check out sportsview360.com/Saints for the latest content on the New Orleans Saints organization. I got a new mock draft out on the site right now. Go ahead and check it out. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.